Today we're going to talk about the real number system. The first thing that we can say about numbers is that they are all real. I can't imagine that there are any imaginary numbers out there. Well, actually there will be when you get into college, but right now we're not worried about them. So if we know that all numbers are real, we can break them into two big categories. Numbers that we can make a fraction and numbers that we can't make a fraction. If you cannot make a number a fraction, we're going to call that irrational. If we think about the prefix IR, that means not. And ratio means a fraction, so it's not a fraction. This would be numbers like pi that never end. Or it could be numbers like the square root of a non-perfect square. We're going to learn about perfect squares later. And so if we say that numbers that cannot be a fraction are irrational, then if they are a fraction, they'd be rational. So this would be any number that's a fraction, a decimal, a number that repeats, or a whole number. So it's any number that ends. But we have more specific categories than just that. So we could say that a number is an integer. If a number is an integer, then it's a whole number or its opposite. So it could be 2. The opposite of 2 would be negative 2. And then we also have to include 0 in there. And of course there's no negative 0. We can go a little bit further, and if a number is an integer, it might also be a whole number. So if it's a whole number, that's when we start at 0, 1, 2, 3, and it goes on forever. But it's got to be a whole number. And then there's one even more specific category from whole numbers. We have natural numbers. The natural numbers are every whole number except for 0. So it's 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. The television decided it wanted to play something. And so on. Natural numbers can also be called counting numbers. So you could see them referred to either way, but usually it's called natural. Okay. So I hope this helps you break down the category of numbers and the different categories that we assign them. And just remember that if it's a natural number, it's also a whole number and an integer and a rational number, and then all of our numbers are real.